Hey, ho everyone! It's time for more TCGO. So this is our first video of TCGO up in quite a while, although I have been playing it not recorded. The reason I've been playing it not recorded is I've been having issues, number one, with Camtasia, which I'll address in a later update video, I guess. And number two, because my microphone is not working so hot with the new computer. It works fine with bad old TM50, but you know, this computer is definitely the one I'm going to be doing TCGO on from now on, because, you know, it actually loads the cards pretty quick. So it makes it more easier to use. And you know, it actually allows me to take 30-second turns instead of the amount of actions required in 30 seconds. Or I can do in 30 seconds on this. On TM50, the old laptop, I can do those in maybe 2 minutes if I'm lucky, depending on how it's feeling that day. So we're definitely going to be sticking with this computer. I'm going to have to find a new microphone, I guess, because this one, either I can have low volume or really like echoey, warbly audio. So I'm choosing to go with a little bit further away from me to result in lower volume. So please bear with me until I can find a replacement microphone, or at least another one to test and see if it works any better with this. Still better audio quality than the built-in microphone, of course. This is also a test video for Fraps, which my diamond brother came and hooked me up with. I don't think I'll be using it on everything, but we're probably going to be using it on TCGO, since I generally do not need the messing with different audio tracks. But Camtasia has also been giving me nightmares. I'll explain that in a upcoming update video, I guess, before other LPs and stuff start. But anyway, this video is not about all that stuff. This is not actually a channel update video. It is about Pokemon Trading Card Game Online. And probably today, they had a Plasma Storm in, hence the Lugia EX you see before you. I really wanted to get some videos up of pre-Plasma decks, but you know, Plasma Storm is officially taken over now. There is no more going back to playing the Black-White through Bandu's Cross format, and we just have to deal with Plasma from now on. So, one little weird thing that probably most of you have found out by now, if you downloaded the patcher. The patcher actually now includes, I hope this is not responding to screw up Fraps, so we need to redeem codes. You will notice that even though Plasma Storm is available, you cannot buy packs. Well, if you happen to read the patcher updates, which is something that they started doing now that I noticed. They actually give you the build notes of what it's actually installing when it does that. Now what you do is you just type in the code. It says an item, and we redeem it, and you know, we get a booster credit, right? Nope, you just straight up get a Plasma Storm pack. So no more claiming your codes and then going to cards, or no, yeah, to cards, because that's where you know, pick your packs or whatever. No more of that. They just sort of streamlined the whole process. A lot of people are upset about it, probably justifiably so. I mean, it's, you know, restricting the options that you as the consumer have, and anytime people are restricting your options, generally that's not a fun thing for them to do. I'm going to try to input multiples at a time. Hopefully they don't get eaten. But, you know, they also have rolled out several other announcements that are happy for us. Notably, gyms and stuff are coming somewhat soon. And tokens, yeah, these 300 whatever that everyone has. Some people have a lot more. Some people have in the thousands, I'm sure. People who don't waste them on the Pokemon.com main site like I do. Gotta have my Jasmine gear, man. I mean, come on. They have announced that those are going to be available to redeem most cards, which I'm going to take most cards, since they said even like rare hollows and stuff. I'm going to assume that means everything but EXs can be purchased with tokens, probably for an extremely high amount. I would expect like something like Gardevoir to probably go for 100 tokens, you know. But I think the big benefit of that is going to be that you can just pick up the, you know, the lower stages, you know, things that it's difficult to really get in a trade unless you do it in like a combo trade. You can just go and pick up, you know, 4-1 Ralts Curlia line, something like that. Whereas now you typically just have to ask for it as like part of your Gardevoir trade, something like that. So I think it'll be really useful for that, and also gems will be useful. Probably, I would imagine, to buy booster credits and possibly other stuff as well. But we'll see what all they end up doing with it. So that should be good times to come. I know that's a feature that a lot of people have given them flack about, is that there's no way to really play strictly online. You know, the closest thing you can come to playing strictly online is just buying emailed codes, which I think pretty much, I don't think I've ever actually bought any emailed codes. I think all of mine have always been sent to me, which is good because I use the backs for proxies. So anyway, there's our 8 plasma packs redeemed, and I think I'm just going to open them just because this set has been reported as having pretty good pull rates. There's like 8 EXs, so it seems like there's more EXs pulled. There's not really any EXs from this set that I really want. Well, okay, I guess Lugia maybe, for my Plasma Blastoise build. But there is a lot of trainers, and the way I see it is, those trainers are uncommon, and they are probably going to command a value of at least a pack on their own. You know, especially the A specs; those are going to be more. And there's so many trainers. There's just a pretty good chance that you are going to pull one trainer in a pack. So you know, there's a resale value, or you know, if you would just trade a pack for that trainer, well, now you've got other stuff as well. I know Hypnotoxic Laser is in theme decks, so I'm probably going to try to pick some of those up to get HTLs. But yeah, we are going to open up. I only got 8 Plasma Storm packs right now, just the ones I got from pre-release. I'm probably going to be getting some of the Plasma Elite Trainer boxes whenever I get a chance to get some of those. So that'll be 14 more packs. For I don't know if I'll open those on camera or not, but we're gonna open these and see what we get. Okay, there's Colorison. Where's the rare? Oh, that's the rare. Okay, apparently they changed the ordering on stuff. So that's a common. Oh no, that's the okay. Ether's the reverse. Okay, so it looks like they changed the ordering on this, because I know it used to be like the rare, or did they? Or was it always like this? I don't know. I know in physical packs it's like 5 commons, and then your reverse, your rare, and then 3 uncommons at the tail end of the pack. I don't know why they do it common, reverse, rare, uncommons, but that's the way they chose to do it in physical packs. But it looks like they have changed that now. This ordering is actually the way I believe most people, when they do pack opening videos, like to do it. They like pull the rare out and put it at the back. So anyway, so we get some commons that I guess might actually be somewhat important to note. And then we actually get 2 trainers in this pack, which is awesome. Colorus and Ether, both those will probably be, you know, worth a pack, and Reverse Hollow Ether probably more so, right? Trash rare, but yeah, trash rare. I'm pretty sure I'd just rather run the other Buffalant. Pay 1 less colorless for the chance to do 60 more, or 50 more, I guess, to an EX. And this one doesn't have Buffer. That's a stupid first attack too. So bad. It's like half a Tool Scrapper, and even then not even. Alright. So first pack pretty good. Second pack, alright, double rares again, and that's technically a hollow, so that's pretty good. Or double rares, double trainers again. That's 2 reverse ethers, so we definitely have some trade bait for that. Yeah, I was also going to be interested to see if they did the glitch again with the double rares, but it looks like they didn't. So pretty satisfied with the first 2 packs. So probably 4 packs worth of cards opened. And alright, there's 2 more. Verbank's going to be a big one. Plasma Frigate a little bit less so, but Verbank's definitely, you're going to see a lot of Verbank in competitive play, that's for sure. At least at first. Maybe the hype will wear off, I don't know. Why is that oh, that's a reverse comment. Okay, I was like, why is there a common down here on this row? So 3 packs, 6 trainers, so that's probably 6 packs worth of stuff opened up out of 3 packs, so I'm pretty satisfied so far. As long as we get a total of 8. Oh, there we go. There's the big boy. Hypnotoxic Laser. Yes, Cooper. Notice the Hypnotoxic Laser. Don't notice the shiny Charizard. Alright, shiny Charizard. I opened one of these in real life in my Plasma Storm. Well, Plasma Gale. It's the Japanese one. So it doesn't have the error. Also, this one doesn't have the error either. For those who don't know, at least the first wave of the English print of this Charizard has a fighting requirement right here. Someone mixed up... F is used for fighting, R is used for fire in TCG lingo. It's kind of like how, what is it, U, I think, it's either U or U or W, I don't know, is used for blue in Magic because it has blue and black. So you can't have two Bs. And I forget if it's like U or W or something they use for blue. But Pokemon uses R, which is like red, for fire. So yeah. So shiny Charizard on TCGO, shiny Charizard in real life. That's pretty good. Pretty good. All right. One thing I hate about Fraps is that I never know if it's recording or not. So I'm gonna take a break and make sure we are recording right here. All right, we are recording. Apparently it stays pretty even if it loses focus, so that's awesome. So this is a pretty awesome pack, just in general. So this is a Holo Weezing. Nice ability. I kind of like the attack too. But yeah, so big winner pack right here. Hypnotoxic Laser, a decent, rare Holo, and shiny Charizard. So that's probably getting traded to somebody for. Considering I'll probably get Plasma Storm packs out of it, probably I'm going to trade to somebody. I don't know. If you guys want to make offers for it, go right ahead. I have no clue how much this is going to be worth, but it is shiny. It is a Charizard, so therefore, I'm thinking collector value alone, probably will command at least like 10 packs or so. I don't know. Anyway, very good pack here. So opening shiny Charizard automatically made opening these packs worth it. And in the pre-release video that I didn't actually get to post because the audio quality was terrible, I believe I hailed this set as the new best one of the Black White block as far as just overall set quality. It is excellent with it's like not Next Destinies. Next Destinies had like one chase card and it was an EX. This set has a ton of good trainers, several somewhat playable at least for Holos, and the EXs are good but not like overpoweringly. Just one of them is good. So Bicycle is another trainer card. So I believe we have gotten a trainer card I think in every pack so far, and there's a Holo as well, Lucario. Pretty good in the Plasma Kling deck for Reckon Some Darkrai face. And 3 more packs to go. I'm like probably gonna open all these packs now instead of just do what I normally do. And there we go. Wow, double trainers and packs again. Granted, it's just Plasma Grunt, which I'm pretty sure I'd rather play Shiren 9 times out of 10, unless I had a very, very, very heavy Team Plasma deck. And on top of that, we also get Togekiss. Unfortunately, Bright Veil is Gothitelle Light. And the attack is nothing to write home about either, especially if they have an Eviolite. So, it'd be nice if this thing had like some sort of a. It would be nice if it had like Metronome, to where like the old Jungle Fable. That would actually make it kind of playable. You come up and Metronome their White Kyurem EX. Metronome is just like foul play for those of you who are not that old, by the way. There's some slight differences, but it's pretty much the same attack. So there's a trainer and a Holo. Pretty good. And as long as we're getting trainers and Holos in packs, I have no complaints. And there is another shiny, a random receiver. Okay. A shiny random receiver, and a reverse Gallade. That's awesome, because one of my new favorite decks is Gardevoir Gallade with Mewtwo and Sigilyph. It's not really the best deck, but it's pretty fun. So, and there's this Rotom, which is decent, and Eels, although Landorus hates on him pretty bad. Why are you weak to fighting? You have Levitate. You are a ghost. In this form is a ghost. The only one you even take damage from is Rock, which you're not weak to. Stupid. She should be weak to Dark, because Darkrai's going to kill you anyway. But anyway, another great pack. Anytime you get a shiny, I guess it's a great pack, because the shiny's going to give you over one of a thing. So cool. Alright, and last pack we get a Colress, so there you go. I believe Colress isn't Theme Decks though, so Colress probably might not actually be worth a full pack, but at least right now he might be. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see if we can trade one for a pack or something, and then maybe pick up some Plasma Storm Theme Decks and get some of that. So anyway, the other thing I wanted to do in this video, we're not going to open these. Screw that. The other thing I wanted to do in this video, let's go ahead and make that trade offer actually. So I didn't get to do a Plasma Storm set review. Did I even do one of those for Boundaries Crossed? I don't know. But there is a couple of cards in this that I did want to hit on, I guess. I'm not going to do a match in this video since I need to incorporate stuff for Plasma, and really before I do anything in for Hypnotoxic. See, now we're going to see some of these Plasma Storm things for trade. Boundaries for... No, that's not... I don't think that's going to fly. Anyway, I will do a... trade. We'll see, test the waters on this. Trade a... all caps. But it doesn't like all caps. Oh, that's what it doesn't like. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Colorus isn't Theme Deck, so we'll see if we can fish a Plasma pack for a Colorus that seems... Ooh, why is there like... That's odd. That is weird. That is weird. I'm pretty sure at least this deck, by the way, has Hypnotoxic Laser, so... but this is what we're looking for. We're looking for just a Plasma pack out of Colorus. And I'll see if that flies. But anyway, so let's do a fairly quick, I guess, set review on this. On the set, TCGO makes this very easy due to the carousel view. Even though I normally dislike the carousel view, I think it's actually going to be the most useful thing for this. So we'll go Plasma Storm. What are the other views, by the way? Oh, list. Yeah, we don't want list. Let's also do show all so we can actually see everything. Alright, so here's this Amoonguss. This Amoonguss I want to make a deck with once Getsus comes out in the next set. The first attack, both attacks are flippy, so you can of course want to use Fliptini. Astonish does flip a coin of heads. It's basically a Hooligan's Gym and Cast and an attack, which similar to the Gothitelle Gardevoir or Gothitelle Celebi deck with Victini. You know, the Gothorita's attack is basically a Crushing Hammer, but because it's an attack, you get to use Fliptini in tandem with it. Same thing with this. And being able to just rip 3 random cards from your opponent's hand, you know, you only draw 1 a turn usually. So, you know, the thought with this is you use Getsus, which is next set, look at your opponent's hand, supporter, look at your opponent's hand, and all the item cards there get shuffled back in their deck. And then just to add insult to injury, you draw however many items they shuffle back in. But you can kind of do almost a little cheaty cheat by, you know, looking at their hand and then sort of having good eyes and memorizing what went where. That's probably cheating, but I suppose you could do it if you really wanted to. But even ignoring that, we do not, of course, condone cheating on this channel. But even ignoring that, you know, that's probably going to rip their hand size down pretty small. And you can probably rip a supporter out of 3 cards. I mean, they're going to be left with what? Pokes, energy, and supporters, I guess stadiums. So, you know, if you think about how many of those Pokemon energy and supporters are usually in your hand at a given time, it's usually not terribly more than 3. So there's a pretty good chance that Amoonguss could just nail your supporter and then, like, you're just kind of out of it for a little while. So, and then you've got a Miracle Powder that can do any special condition 75% of the time if you have Fliptini, and on top of that some 30 damage, so you know, could be alright. Unfortunately he's still knocked out by a fully powered Keldeo, but oh well, pretty decent card. Next is Articuno EX. We've talked about him a lot due to the prevalence, or at least height prevalence, of Hypnotoxic Verbank. There's probably going to be a lot more ways to clear status. And, you know, if you can clear poison, you can clear paralyze too, usually. So, not sure how good Frost Prison's going to be, but it's one of those things that could be strong depending on how the metagame shapes up. So, don't forget about Articuno EX. He could actually be a force in the future. This Beartic, he's alright, I guess. Good amount of HP, and can actually do some decent damage with the Powerful Rage, but then probably dies immediately afterwards. Second attack is only noteworthy because it does do the magic number 90, and it also mills at the same time. So, I don't know, he could be useful, I guess, if you're building like a mono ice theme deck. Outside that, you know, I don't think he would show up in any sort of competitive deck. This Behem is kind of similar to the Undaunted Espeon, I believe, with the moving pretty much 6 damage counters from my side of the board go to your side of the board is what that second attack does. And that's really the only noteworthy thing about it. Bicycles, here's our first trainer item. It's a reprint of the old Mail from Bill. Kind of, given how rarely useful Bianca is for me personally, I don't know. The only advantage this has is, well, I mean, really, even if you're only getting 2 cards off of it, that's still pretty good. I mean, that's still an old bill. You know, not the new supporter bill, but the old trainer item essentially now bill. So if you can find a way to consistently get like 2 cards off Bicycle, I think it could be a really good card. Might be worth including one if you have a heavy count of Skyla, as it sort of let Skyla act as a pseudo draw supporter. If you like get in, you get into one and it's a Skyla, maybe you can Skyla for the Bicycle at that point. I don't know. Just something to consider. And this is probably the most hyped EX in the set, actually, which is funny considering it's like all but guaranteed a 10, unless TPCI trolls us and puts the other Black Kyurem in the 10s. First attack, whatever. Second attack is going to kill a thing. Doesn't matter really what it is, unless it's buff Tornadus, or I guess buff Lugia. It is going to kill stuff dead. It is fantastic against EXs, but a little bit wasteful against non-EXs. So it's definitely a weapon in Blastoise's arsenal. Of course, right now, how could we say anything's not going to be EX heavy? But against decks that are not EX heavy, I don't know. Maybe this guy's not quite as good as he could be. But certainly, if you're knocking out Mewtwo's, Landorus's, things like that, with Black Ballista, definitely a very fearsome force. And just a threat to come down at any time in a Blastoise deck and just wipe out your fully loaded Mewtwo, whatever. Probably going to replace Mewtwo in Blastoise decks that use Mewtwo, or that choose to use this guy. He does, of course, need the Lightning Energy. You could either do Prism, Blend, or just go basic Lightning if you favor the Retrieval route, which, I don't know, I'd probably favor a mix of both. Maybe a little Prism so I can throw some other tech cards in there. Use that way I could use like that and Sigilyph at the same time. So, definitely look for this guy. He's probably going to crop up in a lot of Blastoise decks. Speaking of Blastoise, Shiny Blastoise, art probably looks considerably better than the other Blastoise. But, it's shiny. It's a bling card, so you might see people blinging out. I think we already discussed this guy's crap. This guy is actually one of the surprises that we got in Plasma Storm. This set was actually the first one in a long time that PokeBeach didn't spoil, and since my pre-release was actually the first day, I actually got to be surprised by stuff, which was pretty cool. This guy was a Japanese promo. He was not in Plasma Gale, and if his ability just worked on the bench, I'd say he might actually be playable, but he's not. Sorry. And on top of that, he's got a 2 retreat cost, which is dumb, because I'm pretty sure the previous set had a Braviary that had a free retreat cost. This kind of free retreat cost and his ability worked on the bench, I think he would actually be playable. But as it is, probably not. Especially with that Braviary from, was that Dragons? Or wait, was there a... whatever. The last print of this guy, I'm pretty sure, had a free retreat. And there was a Rufflet that had a search your deck for 2 pokes with fight resistance. So, almost evolves himself. So, might have been playable, but, oh well, it was just a promo, what can we say? Carvana, Shiny Charizard. It's Shiny Charizard, that's all that matters. This Cherim, I don't know, I could see this as a maybe possible tech in some sort of a, like a Darkrai Hydreigon that can move blends around. Healing, being able to just heal 20 damage. It can affect 2-hit KOs, sort of like how Potion can come in. It's like, alright, I do 90 and the next turn I do 90 and knock you out. Well, no, because I healed 20. So now you don't do just 90 and knock me out. You do some more, and then I max Potion to heal it all away. So, I don't know. It's a little cheap one prize that, are they really going to want to burn a catcher on it? So, I don't know. The attack is, I guess, fairly useless. But, I could do 120 to a Keldeo. That's worth something, I guess. But anyway. Unfortunately, the basic form is kind of donked by Mewtwo DCE, so that's definitely a slap against it. Chimchar, 50 HP is alright, decent attack. Clefable probably got a little bit more, I don't know. The ability is basically flip a coin. If heads, you get a from Sandstorm and Emerald. Wally's Training on one of your pokes. Wally's Training was one of my favorite supporters from the EX block, but having it as an ability that's a flip, not so much. If it wasn't a flip, I'd say this guy might be worth including, but since it's a flip, just unreliable. I mean, you could theoretically use this to get a more consistent, probably the best use of it would be shielding a basic, which Ditto probably does better more. By shielding a basic, I mean like, okay, I'm going to drop my Tynamo Moon Guidance immediately into an electric. things like that. But I think I'd probably rather use the bench spot that I had to Fable on for a Ditto, so I can say transform, Dynamo, evolve, electric. So I think I'd rather do that. If anyone has any other like sweet moves they think you can pull with Moon Guidance, do let me know. At least the basic does have 60 HP. Unfortunately, it's still dunked by Landorus, so more reasons not to run it. Cobalion EX has probably only gotten, I think I actually have both of these in Japanese form. Has probably only gotten hype for one thing, and that is in Plasma Cling deck. Plasma Cling thing, which we'll get to later. His first attack is half of Garchomp's, I guess. The good Garchomp only does 30, but it's a basic, so I guess that's fair. And can discard special energies, which this guy's kind of the anti-Plasma actually. With a Power Prevalent DCE and possibly Plasma Energy will be Righteous Edge could be good. And then the second attack, the big thing it does is it shoots through Sigilyph, it shoots through EX protection in general, shoots through Eviolite, so it kills Bouffalante unless there's an Aspersion in play, as it'll shoot through Boofer and any Eviolites that are on that Bouffalante. So Cobalion EX might be one of the more playable EXs in this set. And then yay, supporters. Is that third call? Why are there three? Oh, that's the reverse. Okay, I was like, why are there three colors? This is the one I actually pulled at pre-release. It's the only good thing I pulled at pre-release. And I just noticed we didn't pull any EXs or full arts, but we pulled two shinies, so that's fine. Anyway, Colorus is one of my favorite, and apparently full art Colorus is not a anything. The normal arts are trainer supporters. Apparently Colorus doesn't know what he is. He's the Internet Explorer logo or something. But anyway, kind of called AO Illustrated, of course, so I'm really glad I have one of those. So we shuffle hand to the deck, and then however many bench Pokemon there are, you draw that many cards. I was hoping it would be up to that many cards. You could pull tricks late game with not drawing cards, but unfortunately it's not. Too, as an anti-decking type thing. But nope, it's just equal to the number of benched. Now, the first thing that comes to mind is, oh, that could be shuffle draw 10. But then, if you think about it, oh yeah, first turn of the game, this is probably not the supporter I want to play, since it's going to be like shuffle and draw 1, maybe 2, possibly 0, just like the Alga Call of Legends. I don't want this hand anymore, I'll just shuffle it in. I don't need a hand. Difference being that then you have to continue your turn instead of at least, you draw a card at the start of your next turn. So it's like you have more time with no hand. But anyway, pretty good supporter. It's probably honestly going to replace Juniper. Yes, replace Juniper. I don't see myself running more than one Juniper in any non-discard friendly deck. By discard friendly, I mean things that have Sableye, things that have Ho-Oh, Eels, I guess is kind of discard friendly. Anything that's not discard friendly, anything that runs Rare Candy and doesn't run Sableye especially, I see myself limiting myself to one Juniper, and even that would only be for like a Skyla for it, so maybe not even that. But I think definitely I'll be playing 2 to 4 Colors in pretty much every deck. Not so effective against some decks, but very effective against others. So, kind of like Empoleon, right? Actually, exactly like Empoleon. So, Colorus Machine is a card that has a little bit of hate, but I think we're seeing now that some of the Plasma pokes have slightly overcosted energy requirements, and in order to be really viable, and this is the thing that sort of makes them viable. If you think about it, it's also really weaker than the Team Galactic Energy Gain, which just said make one of your attacks, one colorless, cheaper, because in order for this to work, first off, you have to have a Plasma Energy in there. Second off, you have to pull it out, so that's 2 slots to do what one Energy Gain could do. And the only advantage is, I guess, it's stackable, whereas Energy Gain was not. But and of course, there's the little effects that use Plasma Energy, like the Articuno with the Frost Prison, of course, doing the automatic paralyze with the Plasma Energy attached. I like how we glossed over the most important part of Articuno. But it's energy acceleration just for Plasma Pokemon. We did not get Team Plasma badge, so it's not yet available to every Pokemon. But Colorus Machine is definitely something that allows these Plasma Pokemon to be somewhat good. There's a Combi that has G for 30, which is unfortunately 30 HP. It's pretty nifty. a really, 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 really bad Conkeldurr. You're still not a playable Conkeldurr, sadly. The Crobat, the ability is half of Empoleon's, I guess, but you don't have to discard for it. And if half his attack was PC instead of PCC, I could see this thing being way more playable. But sadly, probably not. Lightning, I guess, is pretty good weakness resistance, you know, but probably better than being Psychic weak, that's for sure. And a free retreat's nice. And you know, if you swarm them, you get Night Sight multiple times, which is pretty nifty. And just honestly, just Ultra Toxic Fang alone is good. I mean, if you think about it, you know, normal poison with Virbank, you triple your poison damage. Virbank with this, you only increase your poison damage to 150% as opposed to 300%. So you get almost less of a oomph from this as you do with normal poison with Virbank. I don't know. All about that efficiency, energy efficiency, I guess. Why is your first attack a flip? Come on, Minun does it without a flip. Whatever. The Drio is just funny. He can go up to 90 damage for one colorless. This Donphan, at least this guy gives us an option to just straight up discard a Stadium card. I don't know if we actually had that before this guy. So you know, Stadium Wars, you know, sometimes it's fine to just replace it with your own Stadium, but the stuff like Tornado CX, who just cares if there's a Stadium in play, I don't think we actually had any, since Tool Scrapper is not Windstorm, I don't think we actually had a way to just straight up discard a Stadium. So this guy's probably not going to be the answer for that, but at least the tool is available. And here's Dowsing Machine, which is probably going to become my A-Spec of choice. Probably the better A-Spec for setup decks, and I like to play some setup decks primarily. So the exact same effect as the old Item Finder without the "rawr, why can't we use Item Finder" that Computer Search had. So you know, this was a weird naming thing that it was always called Dowsing Machine in Japan. Back in 1998 they decided it was going to be called Item Finder here, and then eventually they just decided, okay, we're going to call it Item Finder in the Western world as well. So here's this Drudagon, and seriously, there's not like, this is supposed, one of these is supposed to be like a cracked ice hollow, I'm sure, but oh well. Not that good. There's two Durants in this set. This one's pretty terrible. This one, however, I'm probably going to try to work into some sort of a Plasma Klinkling deck. Call for Backup, helps you get set up. And Metal Jail is actually pretty funny if you can, like, trap, let's say someone uses Keldeo as their anti-hypnotoxic laser. Get out Plasma Klinkling, just Metal Jail Keldeo, you know, keep no him for 30. He can't retreat, even if Darkrai gives him free retreat. If they only play one Keldeo, you know, they can't rush in with another one. So unless they've got Switch, you're just gonna gnaw down a Keldeo and just kill it, which is pretty funny. While Keldeo can't damage you in return due to Plasma Steel, that we'll get to in a moment. So this Durant probably way more playable than this one, but probably still not the best card in this set either. To LGM here. I will say one thing, since I did not get to gush about it in a pre-release video. TPCI did a really good job with this set of holding promos into this set. This, I believe, was a promo, and this one I believe was in the set. Anytime you get multiples of, like, we'll see this more with especially like with Garbodor. Wow, they did a great job with that one. Some things their hands were tied, like there was another Dodrio or Doduo. But things like that, is there not one more? Okay, well, whatever. We'll see more of them though. They did a great job of holding over promos in order to make the set a little bit better in draft or limited. You know, if this hadn't been in there and you pulled a Behem, it would be a little bit harder to pull an LGM. But since there's two LGM, you have a better chance of being able to pull that Behem that you pulled. So, just things like that. It's nice that they managed to. They also did that, I believe, with Lucario, Riolu. So I give them some, give them claps for doing that. That's anytime you make sets more draftable, more appealing for limited play, that can increase sales in hobby stores, and that's always a nice thing. So hopefully they continue to do that. So here's some cards that we were supposed to get last set that we are now finally getting. We have Escape Rope, which is just like the old Warp Point. Due to Catcher being in the format, I don't know. You know, we're gonna need more switches. Switch. That was an interesting way to say that. Switches. I think I'll personally probably still be playing Switch, but I don't know. I might try out a split or something. At the very least, it switches number 5 through 8. So if you really need extra copies of Switch, if for some reason you hate Keldeo, you know, you can run Escape Rope. Ether, a card that you know, it would be so nice because it's, yes, anything can have energy acceleration now, but anything means Tornado CX turn 1 Power Blast as well. So that's the most frustrating thing about this card, is it opens up a lot of room for creativity, but it also just opens up a lot of room for donks. So it makes me sad. I've only specified like only attached to your stage 2s or evolved Pokemon in general. You know, that would be like, yes, you can maybe see some evolutions coming back into play. But oh well, as it is, I guess it's all right. You know, oh yes, we also got the reprint of Eviolite. Last set in Boundaries Cross, we got the reprint of Rocky Helmet from not only from, you know, Cold Bolt, Freeze Bolt, Cold Flare. Yeah, that'll Freeze Flare, Cold Bolt. That almost sounds better. We got the shiny Rocky Helmet from that, and the jaggedy lines around it Rocky Helmet from the Keldeo Battle Strength deck, the one that had Keldeo 110. 110 being his HP, not a set number. Some people call it Keldeo HP. Some people call it Keldeo, the set number. I call it Keldeo 110 because that's the number. I mean, there's like two things on a Pokemon card, and that's the top row. The name and the number of HP. Keldeo 110 is what makes sense for me. So this is almost a more pink radiating Eviolite. So Eviolite is here to stay for another couple formats, guys. Sorry. Exploud, another holdover from Cedarbin and Boundaries Crossed. Destructive Sound is pretty nifty. If you're holding on to a lot of item cards, you don't want to be the victim of Destructive Sound. And a 50 times damage round. You only need 4 round pokes to hit the 200 mark, but now you need 4 energy instead of 2 that you would need with Seismitoad. So I think Seismitoad probably will still be the way to go with round. But I don't know, this guy does at least offer you the chance to do 300 damage with round, so that's pretty nifty. And I guess you could also use him with a Spursha for more HP, but whatever. This Fungus I'm only going to mention because his attack actually works well in tandem with his Amoonguss that we mentioned at the start of this little set review. So, you know, it's nice to see basics that kind of work with their stage 1 or with their later evolutions, kind of help them get set up. And this one your opponent reveals. Do they reveal for Amoonguss? I forget. They probably do. Yes, they do reveal those cards for Amoonguss as well. So that's helpful to know what they just lost. You know, you can kind of know, okay, I ditched their supporter, something like that. Frillish, can we please get some pink Frillish in the foreground, by the way? The blue Frillish has been in the foreground of like every Frillish card. Like, come on. Alright, so this Gallade, sort of the offensive focus of the Gardevoir Gallade, Mewtwo, Sigilyph thing that I've been playing a little bit around with. The first attack is kind of reminiscent of Gardevoir EX from Sandstorm, but it only counts energy on your side, so that's, you know, theoretically half the energy on the field instead of all the energy on the field, but it does 20 times. So I think that's probably alright, since it controls a little bit more. And of course, with Gardevoir counting every psychic energy attached as 2, any psychic energy you attach can up that damage by 40. Now, whatever, I guess I'll get more into that when I actually talk about how that deck works. The second attack is generally going to be outclassed. If you've got 3 energy on him, well, if you've got 1 energy anywhere else on your field, Powerful Storm is going to tie it, and if you've got 2 more anywhere on your field, Powerful Storm is going to beat it. So you don't get to switch, right? Yeah, your opponent switches. So basically they get to switch after the damage is dealt. So kind of bad. This Galvantula, it's like, oh, it's almost Dragon Burst, except it does half the damage. But it is a free retreater, so I don't know. Maybe you can make some sort of like commons and uncommons only Ray Eels knockoff with that. Might be pretty funny. I mean, it does have free retreat, so you know that gets rid of your need for Sky Arrow. That's pretty interesting, I guess. This Garbodor is really bad. This Garbodor is still bad, but not quite as bad. One colorless for 20 poison, and a flip for an energy discard. So it's a decent value for one energy. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to play Garbodor anyway. Giratina. This guy is also in Theme Decks, and this guy's first attack is actually the reason I correctly predicted that Hypnotoxic was going to be in Theme Decks. Because, you know, what trainer card combos really well with, Hex. If they're affected by status, does more damage. Hypnotoxic Laser. So, yeah. First attack can do 100 damage. Second attack does 90, and discards a random card from their hand. So, you know, you get the 2 hit KO EXs, maybe one shot of Mewtwo, and you're actually not weak to Psychic either. With that much energy, I think Mewtwo's still going to kill you. Let's see, 6... actually, no. Mewtwo would not kill you. Or, wait, no. Yes. 4 energy on you. 2 on that. That's 6 energy. Times 20. 100. Yeah, actually, Mewtwo somehow doesn't kill you. At least not with a DC, since it's not weak to Psychic. So that's kind of cool to see. Yeah, not weak to Dark. Of course, Darkrai kills you better, but I think it's probably a decent trade-off, in my opinion. You know, you get the chance to one-shot a Mewtwo, and do a little bit of hand disruption as well. So not a terrible card. I think this has a full art on the way too, so that's pretty neat. The Golbat, why do you come on, have free retreat. Be a good Golbat. Girder, Heatmore only gets notes for the quad Heatmore. Whoops. Alright, TCGO players will recognize what that sound was, maybe. Or maybe not. Anyway, it was too many heap sections. A little problem TCGO loves to have. I guess when we're loading all these cards over and over again, it exacerbates it. But anyway, so this Heatmore, you know, his first attack is a catcher with burn, so that's kind of alright. It's a good getting set up attack. But the second attack, sort of reminiscent of decks like the Mew Prime, Rhyperior level X, things like that, where you're discarding energy off the top of your deck and doing more damage. Ideally, you're hitting for 150, 200 a round, starting hopefully turn 2 with Ether, but bare minimum turn 3. So Fiery Licks could do some massive damage. This guy was a major troll in pre-release, so as good as this set is for limited, Heatmore kind of trolls it. I'd almost say if you're doing like a limited or draft tournament with this guy, just ban the Heatmore, because everything else in this set is pretty much fine. Even the EXs are pretty much fine. But the Heatmore kind of trolls everything. So, and he's uncommon, he's easy to get, and probably just reduces the game to who goes first in the coin flip to knock out the other one's Heatmore. So, yeah, I probably would recommend banning Heatmore if you do that. I mean, there are ways around him. You know, if you just draw enough basics and pop a Hypnotoxic on his face, something like that. But, yeah, just a nice little novelty card. But if you're doing like a friendly Plasma Storm draft or whatever, I'd probably recommend banning him so that you actually have a competitive draft. That's sort of the goal, right? And then probably the most hyped card in the set, Hypnotoxic Laser. Nice. Formerly known as Poison Hypnotic Beam. I still prefer the acronym PH Beam. But, oh well, I guess HTL will do as well. Mostly used for the toxic part there. And, interesting how green and purple are like... You imagine one of those is sleep, one of them is poison, but they can actually be, like, interchanged, too. So, anyway, automatic poison. So, you know, as good as a plus power, only downside being you can't stack it. Or almost as good as a plus power, I guess. In some cases where you're, like, hitting for weakness. I don't think there's any 180 HP things that are weak to Psychic, but in that case you wouldn't be able to do the, you know, X-Ball for 160 and then Poison kicks in and knocks you out like you can with Mewtwo, because Mewtwo has 170 instead of 180. And on top of that, you also get a 25% chance for them to be incapacitated, you know, assuming you flip heads and they flip tails, on their next round. So that's pretty useful as well. But the Poison is definitely the more useful aspect of the card. If the effects were flipped, I think the card would be way more balanced. You know, automatic sleep and then flip for poison. I think that would probably like quarter its playability. But the ability to just inflict automatic poison, and especially in tandem with Verbank, is just kind of way too good. There's an Infernape here. There's 3 Infernapes, which I guess implies one of them is a theme deck Infernape. So, first attack, Torment, could be useful against guys that only have 1 attack. Problem being that Switch gets around it, and, you know, it's nice that I can lock your Darkrai at a Night Spear, but you can just retreat to another one. So, or just rush in with a Keldeo, and then retreat back to your Darkrai and continue to make me unhappy. And Malevolent Fire, you know, if you think about it, it's 120 discard 2 energy attached. Why am I not using Reshiram for this? Yeah, I guess free retreat. That's pretty much it. Jellicent, I kind of wish. Or wait, is that? I think there is a non-plasma Jellicent in the next set, maybe. So I almost wish they would have saved it for that. But oh well. This guy. What's funny is this ability used to be on Team Rocket Returns Coughing, and that was a basic, so it was, you know, not as painful to go down. But this guy's a stage 1 with a pretty crappy attack, so yeah, I don't see him ever doing anything. This Joltik gets only note for having some adorable artwork. Joltik, of course, is 4 inches tall, and he's sticking his finger in a power outlet, so it's just some neat little artwork. This Curly I think is way better than the other one. 1 Psychic for 20 and a flip for Paralyze, so I like that better than the other one. We got some Clinks and Clangs. They're decent, but you know, I think people are still going to stick with Dark Explorers for the heavy balliness. And there we go. The probably the best metal Pokemon in the set, or at least the one that allows the other metal pokes to be good, is Klinklang. I got a couple of these guys on the way. Hopefully they'll be arriving in the mail soon. The Plasma Steel ability prevents all damage, not effects, but all damage. That's most of what EXs do. I guess it doesn't block like Entei's Burn, things like that. But prevents any damage done to your metals from the opponent's Pokemon EX. So that of course includes himself, and even your metal type EXs like Cobalion and Registeel suddenly become like these Sigilyph-esque tanks. You know, so no longer is it really something your opponent can really catch her around. They're gonna have to find a way to shut down the Klinklang one way or another. The attack is not terrible, I guess. It's probably better than Gear Grind. I mean, probably. You know, do you run this guy with the other Klinklang? Do you not, to just focus on getting this guy out more consistently? You know, it's definitely a radical shift in the way Klinklang decks are built, but it should at least provide some resurgence to it, which I like that a lot. Once again, we got 2 Coughings, so that works well with the 1 Wheezing. See, I don't know why they gave us Lampent, and there's a Litwick down the line too. Yeah, I don't know why they gave us these 2 instead of saving them. They really should have saved these guys for the next set, since there is a Chandelure in there. It's got a Koki Saito artwork, I like that. This one does too. Yes, nice. So this one's got a free retreat if it's got no energy on it, which is always kind of nice, I guess. But we'll talk more about that next set, I guess. Leavanny is pretty much total trash. Yeah. You know, 2 colored, 1 colorless does 90, right? That's what Terrakion does, and he's a basic. No, Leavanny has to flip to do 90. It does 70, maybe it does 90. So frustrating things in card design like that. That just should have done. I mean, I know Leaf Blade is supposed to be like high crit, so that's probably why it has the coin flip for more damage. But come on, couldn't that be 90 plus 20? Come on, guys. Anyway, so here's Liepard. Liepard, first attack can be very, very crushingly crushing. Also combines well with Getsus. You can check and see with Getsus if they've got 1 supporter card, and then if they do, you don't have the supporter card anymore, and I get to use it. It sort of has Smurgle syndrome with Portrait, where I'm holding onto a good hand. Oops, I Silent Clawed into a Juniper. Yeah, you don't want to be doing that. So that's why I don't think this thing's going to be very good right now. Once Getsus comes out, might see a little bit of play. I'll definitely have at least one deck with it that I'll play around with for fun. But, you know, the basic being donked by Landorus is sort of annoying too. But, you know, what can you do? So here's the low tad line. Nothing to write home about on the lower two. You don't have round Loudred, so therefore you suck. Props to TPCI for holding off the National Beginning set Lucario for this set. This one is obviously way worse than this one. Kick! Mock Cross! I mean, look at this. This guy, stage 1 for FCC, does 70. And then poor Levanny over here does 70 for GGC. Like, come on. Like, Levanny even gets beaten out, arguably, by a National Beginning set poke. I mean, how sad is that? I think I already mentioned a little bit about that guy. Ludicolo, a funny attack, I guess. But Rain Dish heals 20 from him between rounds. I don't know how applicable that is for any normal decks. I mean, he's not really a guy you really want attacking, I suppose. But I don't know. At least it's a neat ability. You know, they tried. Probably one of the, I don't know if he's overhyped or not, since the hype really died down. But Lugia EX just screws with prize math a lot with overflow. You know, you probably gotta run at least 3, if not 4, plasma energies to really accommodate for his plasma gale. But it can be a big swing if you do. All of a sudden, whoops! I actually can take 3 prizes this turn. So against decks that can load them up, you gotta be careful. You know, leaving your damage DX up there and being, oh, that'll be all right. They'll go down to 1 prize. I'll end them to 1. You know, make a comeback. Nope, Lugia. So that's something that's might play some mind games with. Do you have Lugia? Do you not have Lugia? So next is this Lunatone, only useful for the ability. Lava Ballable, Heavy Ballable, the works. Helps out with Ether a little bit, although I don't know. I'd almost rather run Pokedex just because this guy is a sitting duck to be A, Catcher Stalled, or B, Night Speared. So yeah. Another goody the TPCI did was they did combine the Magnemite sets, or the Magnemite line in this. You know, we have 2 Magnemites, one by match, one by, what is this, Shigenori Nagishi. Pretty nice artwork. Almost, it looks very similar to Maho's artwork here. But anyway, I think in both cases I probably prefer the ones that were actually in Plasma Gale. That being this one and this one. These two are okay, I guess, but eh. Yeah, they have the same everything else, HP, bottom stats, all that stuff. But we have 2 Magnazones. We have a non-Plasma Magnazone and a Plasma Magnazone. This one is not actually terrible. It accelerates from the discard pile and does 30, so that's pretty decent, I guess. The other one has seen considerably more hype. It allows you to play 2 supporters instead of just 1. It does not stack, but it allows you to do some nice things like Skyla for a supporter and then play that supporter immediately. Double Hooligans Gym and Cast is probably the most novelty use for it. And then the attack, not great, but I don't know, maybe someone will find some application for it with perhaps with Gothitelle, something like that. I don't know, you never know. This Mammoth Swine should be pretty funny. It's 90 times the number of heads. That's just ludicrous. And then you know, if you need a setup to do before you go crazy with continuous headbutt, Froststone is pretty alright too, and it's pretty beefy. That's under 150 is about as beefy as it gets for stage 2s. This guy is a holo, right? Yes, he is. Unfortunately, the 70 HP hilariously is almost bad for him. It'd almost be better if he had 60, because now he gets to die to, you know, turn 1 blow through plus Hypnotoxic Laser. Oh, Manaphy, you died from poison. You didn't get knocked out by damage, so you don't get the final wish. Sorry, Manaphy. So, like, yeah, this card would actually be better if he had either 90 or 60 HP, actually. Maybe even 100, because even at 90 you still get KO'd by Verbank Hypnotoxic. The attack is sort of some energy acceleration, but it's flippy. So, because I think Final Wish is probably going to get worked around too much, probably not going to be that worthwhile. This guy, pretty good in pre-release, not so much in limited. Or, and constructed. Sorry guys. Yawning. Moltres is one of the worst DXs ever printed. Sorry. You just suck. And you suck so bad, you did not even get a full art. But the other 2 birds did. but you don't get a full art Moltres because you select. Too bad. I'm sorry. Some monkeys that nobody wants. That's probably the better Patrat in this set. Thampi lifting up a boulder with its tusk. Piloswine keeping with its, Mamoswine still flip 5 coins, 40 times the number of heads. That could be some funds. Plasma Energy, just the juice that makes your plasma stuff go. Here's Plasma Frigate, probably the lesser useful of the two stadiums in this set, but could possibly help you win a Mewtwo war if they don't play Enhanced Hammer and they don't play too many counter gyms. So I don't know, maybe worth trying. Here's another promo Purloin from a long while that they held over to this set, and again, 2 Purloins makes it easier to play that Liepard. So yay. Ralts, yay Ralts. This Ralts I like better. Colorless attack, flip for paralyze. Typically I would rather do that with the basic than attack for 10, but gold random receiver reprint. So that's we're probably gonna rotate to Dark Explorers on probably next Destiny's on, so we're gonna keep Rando anyway. But in case we ever rotate to Plasmon, that keeps it in here. So some Riolus, again, good job keeping the multiples of the same guy in the same set. Rotom, Electro bonus, get some lightning in the discard pile and draws you some cards. And Poltergeist actually could be used turn 1. I'm trying to, we'll see, how many would you need? You need, it's 20 times, so you would need, I was going to say, this guy could donk Tornado CX, but with Poltergeist, if they somehow had 9 energy cards off mulligan draws, hey, it could happen. That could be the deck. Quad Rotom, Commerce Machine, coming up, donking some dudes turn 1 when they draw their big mulligan hand, right? An Aaron that can do 100 damage for DDC, 120 potentially if it's a Dark Claw, so I don't know, that could be decent for something else. Why are you a rare? If you were just not a rare, you can maybe use it for an uncommons only deck, but oh well, you're not. Some Koki Saito Scraggy, that's good. Scramble Switch, arguably the most powerful A-Spec we have right now, can just flip a table and all of a sudden something that just got thrown down is now fully powered and staring at you and probably killing you. So a well-timed Scramble Switch can definitely decide a game. Scramble Switch and in some fantastic turn everything upside down cards. Sharpedo is a stage 1 but has less HP than Noble Victory's Druddigon, but it does have the same ability, but it does have a free retreat. So you tell me, would you rather run Druddigon or this guy? I'm pretty sure I'd rather run Druddigon. Here's Simisear, aka I would like to be Keldeo EX for Emboar, but I don't have Rush In, and I'm a stage 1, and I have 90 HP. So that's kind of sad. Skarmory, cool artwork anyway. And I like how his attack is actually worse than Team Plasma Grunt, so that's kind of funny. I have no clue why there's a Skitty in this set. They really should have moved this guy. What they should have done is move this guy into Boundaries Crossed, and then move someone else, the Togepi from Boundaries Crossed, into this set. That would have made more sense. But sometimes TPCI does things that doesn't make sense. But they probably did more good than bad in this set, so I'm not going to complain about them. The Snorlax is kind of interesting. 5 energy for his attack, but you can use Double Colorless and power it up a little bit quicker. So, and the ability is pretty interesting too. I think there was actually an old Snorlax that had the same ability. Unfortunately, they can just capture him back to the bench, and then they're free to retreat. So, oh well. We got this Squirtle, which is leaps and bounds better than the other Squirtle we had. I mean, yeah, I want to take that 30 from Hammerhead. Yeah, bring it on. Squirtle can take it. He's awesome. Unfortunately, we did not get the Wartortle that sort of goes with the Squirtle, so that means we're going to see I don't know, I guess he'll probably end up being like a blister pack or something, which, whatever. This thing only gets note for the attack name, Swaddleguard. Swinub still does coin flippy stuff, so that entire line loves Fliptini. Team Plasma Grunt, again, I'd rather play Shirin 9 times out of 10. The Togekiss. I'm conflicted on whether or not I wish this worked on the bench. I don't know. Because if you read how the ability works, it's basically weaker than Gothitelle. It only really negates stuff like Catcher, half of Escape Rope, Crushing Hammer, Enhanced Hammer, things like that. Why wouldn't you just lock them out of that with Gothitelle? Lock them out of those, and Level Ball, Switch, everything like that. You know, why not just do that as well? And then on top of that, the basic is easily donked by everything ever. So, Torterra, it's a turtle, so it's nice, but whatever. I didn't even know this Trubbish existed, but apparently it was some sort of Japanese promo. If this was just not a flip, I would like it a lot better, as obviously that sets up Garbodor searching for a tool. Two of these guys actually do things with tools. This is sort of the more generic. I have 60 HP. I think Noble Victory's Trubbish is still probably the way to go. But if that gets rotated out, I can definitely see probably this guy, just for the chance to get a tool if he ever actually has to attack. Or if you want a 70 HP to Retreater, this is probably your way to go. Or a Tool Drop. You know, sometimes we get a lot of tools in play, and you know, this counts all the tools on both people's side of the field. This guy actually lost me a game in pre-release, by the way, because I started with him and couldn't draw anything else. If I literally could have drawn, if he had like a 1 colorless pound for 10, then I would have won that game. But no, he couldn't do anything because Tool Drop does nothing if there's no tool. If it had just been 20 plus, so I have a little bit of a grudge against this guy, but oh well. Koki Saito, Turtwig, I'm never gonna say that's bad. And then I kind of wish they had delayed this Vanillish or Vanillux. I mean, this thing came in the same pack, whatever it was, as the I think it was actually the white and black Kyurem Battle Strength decks. But I kind of wish they had saved this guy, because there is a Plasma Vanillux in the next set, so that would have been nice. They could have done what they did with Magnezone for this set, for Vanillux for the next set. And in a fountain, it's a colorless cost because it attaches from your hand instead of discard. But you know, that's okay. Energy Acceleration and an attack is, it's alright and limited anyway. Probably not going to see me play, even in like Vanillux decks that already have Vanillux. I don't think it would see me play. Vespiquen sets up more combis, so I guess it can sort of swarm itself. Literally, it can swarm itself. Swarms of bees. And then the first attack, if this is your only attacker in the deck, you have a problem, because Damage Beat doesn't actually do anything unless they're previously hurt. So you need maybe a Hypnotoxic Laser or something to put some damage on them first. Or just, you know, any other poke. Victini EX is kind of nifty. The first attack can see some mad energy acceleration in a basic. And then, I don't know. I mean, the first attack, or the second attack with Victory Piece can donk Cobalion and Registeel EX, so, you know, that's worth, that's worth something, right? I don't know. And yeah, there's his A-Spec, pretty much gives him Insight, yeah, Mega Prime. All his attacks are free now, as long as that tool's attached, so, I don't know, I think probably more useful for Turbo Energize to get some energy accelerate onto your field. But Intensifying Burn could prove for some funny, oh, turn 1, I'm bearing down your Mewtwo for 100 damage, and you can only X-Ball me back for 40. But unfortunately, 110 HP, weak to Keldeo anyway, so, yeah. Burbank City Gym adds 2 more poison. Poison does 20 more. Not 20 instead of, 20 more. This is probably our friend Malice's favorite card in the set. And could have been really useful as like a rogue deck type thing last format, but now it's just going to be spam with Hypnotoxic, so oh well. Another thing for people to contend with. There's actually 2 Watchdogs in this set. One of them I think was in the Plasma Kling deck. Neither of them are really worth noting. There's 3 Weezing, which tells me that there is a Weezing in the theme deck of this set. I would assume based on that it is a non-holo, because a non-holo Weezing in the theme deck, which makes me think it's probably in the Giratina deck. So I'll probably pick up some of the Giratina deck, I guess. So that's kind of nifty. Whismur, if this Whismur had Round, it would be amazing. But, oh, that's what we have Meloetta EX for, right? The White Kyurem EX, I think this was like White Rage, but I guess they maybe thought that could have racial overtones. I don't know. That's the only reason I can possibly think of why they changed it to White Inferno. And also I just noticed like his body's like crooked, like he's like kind of arched around. Like here's his tail actually. You can see like little things going into his tail. So it's interesting. I'm going to have to look at the Black Kyurem again now. It's basically super outrage. 100 damage, and then 10 more for each damage that he has on him. So I don't know. Could be especially with his A-Spec dealing that to 150. Maybe some wonky thing with Reuniclus or potions. You can just one-shot EXs over and over again with White Inferno, and just tease them and keep yourself out of one-shot range. So I don't know. It could be a funny little troll deck to use. Zapdos EX, I'd say slightly better than Moltres, if only because agility is kind of decent, and he has eel support. But no. Again, they did a good job keeping 2 Zubats in this set. Unfortunately, you have to choose between having a retreat cost and being donked by Zekrom Black-White. So that's your choice you have to make. We're going to look at Black Kyurem again, see if his tail is like that. Can't really tell. But anyway, so that is the full set review for Plasma Storm. I have no clue how long this actually went on. It's probably like a 40-minute video. Good job, Cooper. But we will be back doing TCGO stuff. Can I like move the window? So consider this to be our test of Fraps with TCGO. And yeah, we are back. We have some Plasma Storm cards. Hopefully we can get some more. And see you guys in the future. Better days.